Next
Right.
topic is
They
brought
just
to
walked
us
into this
by
and said, "What is
Malley's.
going
All
on?"
you need is love, guys, and chocolate this Valentine's Day. Be ready to say the three little words
you
everyone
need
wants to
is
hear.
love.
I brought Malley's. From friendship to love to every situationship in between. Malley's has the perfect chocolate to say what you feel. Their famous chocolate-covered strawberries and grapes are back in stores February 13th and 14th. And the rest of their Valentine's Day favorites, like Gold Cup assortments, foil-wrapped solid and dark chocolate hearts, peanut butter, caramel, raspberry, and marshmallow-filled hearts, and so much more. They're all in stores and online now. This Valentine's Day, say it with Malley's. All right, we're going to do these last two topics quick. G. Bush, starting with you here. Give me a player you think will thrive in Todd Monken's system, whatever that may be. Give me a player you think will take a step back this year under Todd Monken.
You shouldn't even. Why would you even ask me this question? You already know what the first person that I think going to thrive in Todd Monken's system.
Dylan Gabriel?
Nah, but he was right on my. I had him on the list. I kind of took him down though, but I think Dylan, he might do some things if he's still on the roster. First and foremost, I'm gonna go with Isaiah Bond. You didn't expect that one, did you?
Not Shador.
Yeah, hold on. I said two players.
Oh.
Isaiah Bond, first and foremost. We'll get to the easy one. I think Isaiah Bond, for coming in the middle of the season and basically just showing up playing, showed me that he's good at what he does, is run past people very fast. I do think that he will be – a lot of these guys will benefit from the fact that they will actually have a training camp. Isaiah Bond, really no training camp, no offseason. Quinshawn Judkins, no training camp, no offseason.
I don't know what his offseason is going to be like because of the injury.
Yes,
but he'll be ready
to, so he'll more indoctrinated. And then think about rookies is people that think about rookies, you tend to just come and get into the system. They got to learn a new system, and then they start playing, and then they look around and start swimming. Like, what is this? And I don't think they expected Isaiah Bond to be playing meaningful snaps, which he did. I think he'll play a lot better just off the reps, and I think that they'll use him better suited in some of the things where, Zay Flowers was moving around. I think they'll use some of that. The second guy, I think Shador Sanders will play better in Todd Monken's system. And one of the reasons I think so is because just for the mindset, this is an opportunity. Like, I really think it's a reset point and it's a really fresh start for Shador Sanders. And I really think that he got in early and is going to get in early with Todd Monken. He already has a playbook. He's probably already digesting it. And the fact that I believe that he's going to benefit from the competition that he is going to get from a guy like Deshaun Watson, who has something to prove also. I think that he is going to be pushed in the way Todd Monken is going to push him to learn everything inside and out, to encompass the offense, to be able to understand what Todd Monken's vision is. And then also, from right now until the season starts, he goes in with a different mindset. He goes in with the mindset of, I got an opportunity to really snatch this job. I got an opportunity to be the starting quarterback from day one. So I think he'll be lined up. I think he'll be buttoned up. And I actually think that Todd Monken and his system and his scheme, the way he sees the game and the way he goes about implement offense, I think it'll be tailored to some of the strong things he does. I think he'll have a solid start to the season, and we'll see what goes from there.
What happens if they sign Malik Willis? That totally changes the mindset of everything.
He's the day one starter if they sign him.
If they sign Malik Willis and they bring him in, it's go to work. If they sign Malik Willis, just the same way, they talk about it with Deshaun Watson. I think people, they look at it from a perspective where these guys is not used to competition. They're not used to going at it. So I look at Malik Willis, and Malik Willis at one point in time was in the same position as these guys. He was at Tennessee. They drafted Will Levis after him. He left somewhere, went somewhere else. He got to a point where now he's been mentioned as one of those guys now. But everybody got something to prove. If they bring Malik Willis in, he got to come and compete. If Deshaun Watson, he got to compete.
I've said consistently, I don't want them to sign Malik Willis. But if they sign Malik Willis and pay him $20 to $30 million a year, he's the starter. I don't think there's a competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen,
I don't think that's the right way to go.
He would have to be a complete disaster.
He got
in training camp.
That's true. It would be his job to lose.
Yes. If they go get, like I said, when we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
If they want to go out and get Malik Willis, and that's what the organization is going to do, your job as a quarterback is to go in there, do exactly what you're supposed to do, put film on tape, and get it done. So my thing is, you're going to get a chance to play and compete. You can't control who they bring in. You can control what you do and how you move forward, because at the end of the day, if the Browns want to make that move and they want to get crazy, I think that would be a ridiculous hypothesis move. But that don't change what the objective is. It's time to go to work. And what keeps you on the field will be what you do on the field. So all these teams, guys is auditioning for another position, whether it's Deshaun Watson, whether it's Shedeur Sanders, or whether it's Malik Willis. They're going to put them in the room. Let's cook.
All right. Did you say you most what was the question again?
Yeah, and G, you mentioned, well, at least you texted us, Cedric Tillman is the guy you think takes
Cedric Tillman, I think he takes a step back. And the reason
Can you take another step back?
No, because I think I think Kevin Stefanski liked his body type. I like the fact, I think when they drafted Cedric Tillman, I could see me and Tyvis do the receiver breakdown. And all of these receivers consistently have some of the same. They compare him to Cedric Tillman because if you go watch Cedric Tillman, he looks like a monster. He has the size, he looks the physicality, but he can't stay healthy, and there's something missing in his game every time he's on the field. So for me, when somebody drafts you and believes in you, they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt, because if you get injured, they're going to move you right back to where you was at and get minutes. If he gets injured now, I don't think that they'll do that, because they're going to draft a receiver, they'll bring in another receiver, they're going to be new guys, and I think if he does not show what he needs to do, other guys will be elevated.
I said yesterday, I think Cedric Tillman can be out of here.
He could possibly get cut.
Because I think, Judy's going to be here. I think Bond's going to be here. I think after that, anybody else could be gone.
Right. Especially when you got Harold Fanning, who's a primary. I think they'll use him a lot. And I think, so to me, I think Tillman, he has to come in and he can't be hurt. He has to come in and learn. That's another thing too, Bull, is they had the advantage of being with Kevin Stefanski all those years. Yeah. So when you get a new coach, when I had 3 new coaches while I was in college. The thing that really takes you a little bit time to ramp up is it all depends on who can grasp the system the best. Because
even if he's not as talented,
right? If somebody if say for instance I'm better than the next guy and I keep busting assignments, that guy's going to get more opportunities to be on the field.
Makes
so,
sense.
At that point in time, there's going to be guys who, if you catch on to the system, that's why it's imperative, not going back to the quarterback, it's imperative that when you come in, you know the concepts in and out. Yeah. So now it just comes down to execution and whether or not accuracy, timing, all those things are rhythm. Yeah. But if you come in and you throwing the ball and you don't know the calls and the checks, then I can't play you. And that goes for everybody.
Jason, who you expect most improvement?
Well, this
from?
was the other topic that I think
it's it's impossible. It's so hard.
August is, I think, a better time to do this when you know who's on the roster and who the defensive coordinator is.
Because there's so few guys to even know.
And I mean, obviously, this is geared toward the offensive side, right? With Monken.
Yeah.
It's hard to look at that offense, and first of all, it's hard to find anyone who's going to go backwards. Like, the bar is on the ground
for everybody but Fannin and Judkins, pretty much.
Yeah. So for who's going to improve the most, I took Quinshon more as I just think he's really good, and I think he'll be better in year 2. I don't even know if it's really tied to Todd as much as it is. I believe in him as a player, and with the full training camp and everything else, I think he'll be better. And I think they'll feature the run in this in Monken's scheme. And for the player who took a step back, I couldn't find anybody on offense.
There's nobody.
So I kind of went outside the box, and I took Devin Bush, who's a free agent, may not even be back.
I thought about that too.
He may not even be here. He's in line to get a big money deal. He had a great year. And that's why, if he is back, I'm looking at going, I think that there might be, with a new defensive coordinator, there might be a little bit of regression. And he had such a great season last year.
Awesome.
Can he really duplicate
that's
that?
That's a heck of a season right there.
Yeah, so it's not even, I'm not even knocking Devin. He just had such a phenomenal year that if he's back, I don't know that he can duplicate that. Yeah. And he may not even be here. Like, they very well likely may lose.
I mean, he helped. I mean, he dang near just beat this. He beat the Bengals by himself. We played by that one play, like that game, because they was in scoring range. All they had to do was score. That game was over. Yeah. I mean, he gets it, picks it off, takes it back. But he had a tremendous year. I do think one of the interesting parts, Bull, will be to see, because we'll be watching this, if the defense takes a step back. And I think a lot of people will be looking at that position in those groups because
it's a hard spot for whoever takes over as DC.
It's a no-win situation.
If there's any slippage, you're getting blamed.
You're getting blamed.
Yeah.
And if they're just as good, you're not getting credit.
Probably not. I mean, you'll get credit for maintaining at that level.
Yeah, but not a lot of credit.
Yeah.
So to me, the improvement, both of these were actually pretty easy, but because there's not a lot of options. I'm with you on Quinshon Judkins. We all love Quinshon. He did not have a good year. Like statistically.
We had a nice year.
Statistically, we went round and round about this.
Right.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was okay. Like, I look at him and I see superstar potential. Not quite Nick Chubb level. Maybe superstar's a little strong, but I see very good potential. Like, I think he could be a Pro Bowl caliber player, a legit Pro Bowl caliber player.
I was going to say, that definition is much looser these days.
Yeah, there you go,
I
Pro Bowl.
can see him being like a top 3 running back in the AFC.
Yeah.
He was not in a good position to succeed because they had no passing game and no offensive line.
Here's why. We ain't got to go around the back. Here's why I elevate this year, and I say it's a good year. You got to take into consideration where he started. He started looking like he wasn't going to play nothing because he was going to be in jail or somewhere.
Yeah, right.
So that, I'm like, okay.
I mean, no training camp, no nothing.
And then the contract, so he gets the contract done. He comes in, no training camp, no plays, no nothing, and he comes in and gives you 1,000. Yeah. And at one point in time,
he didn't have 1,000.
All purpose. At one point in time, he was the only guy you had offensively that was going to give you anything.
That's it. Him and Fannin.
That was it.
So I think I also think Fannon's going to continue to improve too. But I think Judkins has a bigger jump.
I considered Fannin as a slip only because you just don't know how Monken's going to use him in the.
Yeah, I just think he's their only tight end. He's their best pass catcher. My slip is not that there's much room to slip, but I'll go with Cedric Tillman because he was a starter, and I think he's going to either be on the bench or maybe cut. Yeah. So I'll say him. I mean, who else could? Everybody else stinks.
I kind of hinted to this a little bit. Like, I don't know why I'm thinking about this now. Granted, like, I ain't seen nothing in his game that would tell me he about to be cold. But if, like I said, if you can get Zach Zenner to just be a serviceable lineman, that would be a godsend for the Browns. Because
same with Whippler.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. If you could get those guys to be serviceable, and you can allocate some pieces because I can't
2 less offensive linemen. I mean, I think right now they're planning on Whippler being the starter, whereas I don't think they're planning on that with Zinter.
Oh no, I totally agree. It's not like you would count on him, but it would be a great if he was just a regular player. Like, it's just almost. But I expect him to get, if he could get I think he would be better, just getting incrementally better than DeJuan Jones, counting on him being healthy.
You can't, I don't think you can count on DeJuan Jones or Zinter.
No.
I mean, Whippler, I guess you can count on him. I don't feel that confident in him. You don't have a single short thing on that offensive line, not one.
Would you count on Whippler? No, would you count on Zinter more, or would you count on DeJuan Jones?
Tevin Jenkins. I'm serious. I'd re-sign Jenkins.
I know that DeJuan Jones, when he's healthy, is at least serviceable.
Yes. But
whereas we don't even know if Zinter can play.
But I
can't count on DeJuan being healthy.
But that's what I'm saying. But if I had to choose between Zinter and DeJuan, I'd take DeJuan because at least I know he can play.
I would too.
Even if he only plays 5 games.